Did you know that 90% of the world's millionaires invest in real estate? Well, I'm Angel with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks, and I'm here to help you if you want to go for your piece of that pie. Hi, guys, it's Angel with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks. So today we're going to be learning from Eric and Neal and David White, and they're going to be talking to us about the infinite banking concept. You may have heard a little bit about it if you have read much of Warren Buffett, or you've heard about the vault or any of those really cool ideas. So that is what Erica and David do, and they're going to tell us about it. And I'm super excited because it's you always want your money working for you, and with this idea, it's like it's working double for you. So it's like working for you once and then it's working for you again. And it's just like the most amazing thing that you may ever learn about. I should introduce y'all a little bit. So we met Erica and David in Dallas, Fort Worth at a meetup there. And then we got to know them a little bit better through some different friends and other meetups and then online. And we just have really enjoyed learning about the infinite banking concept. We actually are in their program. So we have 100% locked on to this idea and are using it and are super excited of what it's going to do for us. So I'm going to leave it to y'all now. So, because y'all know a lot more about this than I do.
Yeah, well, I'll start a little bit, introduce Erica and I, and give a little bit about our background, and then I'll let Erica kind of take over and just start to maybe lay a little bit of foundation on what it is. So I've been in the financial world for about 17 years now. Started out as traditional financial, actually started out as a stockbroker, did technical trading analysis, really thought that the stock market at that time was really the way to build prosperity, right? To invest and save into the market and grow your money that way. 2009 was a big eye opener for me, right? Realized that not very many people are building true lifelong prosperity through this type of vehicle for their retirement. So got introduced by a client actually during that time who was buying up real estate. In 2009 was a really good time to buy, right? We want to buy low and in these economic downturns, that's the time to really position yourself into some assets. So, it was interesting because as a traditional financial advisor for a big box firm, we're trained to, go after as much money as possible from clients, right? That assets under management. We want as much money in-house as possible. So I remember joking with him and I was like, Bob, how are you buying up this real estate? Are you, you hiding money, got money in your mattress, kind of joking with him. And he actually informed me of this infinite banking concept. And he said, I'm actually borrowing against my whole life dividend paying guaranteed insurance policy, has a cash value attached to it. And as a traditional financial planner, we are taught to really poo-poo that asset. I mean, to be honest, I remember hearing that and I kind of threw up my mouth a little bit at the time. I'm like, ew. I'm like, Bob, why are you investing in whole life? And it's funny because I said, Bob, why aren't you investing with me? I can get you so much of a better return than whole life. And he kind of chuckled and he said, oh, you mean my stocks that are down, 25, 30% right now?
Ouch.
And which he had a point, right? I mean, this was right in the middle of everything down. I mean, everything was down. There's nothing the traders could do, nothing advisors could do. It was just everything was down. So he basically said, no, this isn't my accumulation fund. It's not my growth asset. He said, I'm using it to fund real estate transactions because now is the time to buy. And that was when he actually introduced me to Nelson Nash and the book called Becoming Your Own Banker, and really introduced that idea of taking the most profitable business in the world, which is banking, and privatizing that into my own investment system, basically, and plan. And began to research a lot of that. Eventually started to break away from the traditional big box firms, found a boutique firm, and that is where I met Erica. She was working at this firm as well. And at that firm, we really just, instead of selling product A and B from company A and B, we had a world of products that were available to us because we were independent brokers. So we were actually being able to find right products for clients on their, for their plan, their overall plan. But in the midst of this, I'm doing infinite banking myself. I also started doing real estate. And my idea for scaling into real estate was doing a turnkey operation. But in the midst of just helping clients understand this concept, I started to actually teach it more and more and started to meet a lot of syndicators who were doing commercial real estate in the multifamily world. And they were wanting to set up their infinite banking. And so as I was teaching them the infinite banking concept and showing them how to maximize their real estate returns, they were showing me multifamily and how to scale. So got into my first multifamily deal last year. So active on a multifamily deal in Arlington, and just in the course of that time frame, I started to really feel like the real estate world needs some help when it comes to just wealth strategy and planning. If you go to a traditional financial planner, they're not going to know a lot about real estate. They might know a REIT or something like that, right? So they're not really going to know. So what I decided to do was, hey, I wanted to create a firm that was really dedicated towards this liquidity management, right? How to actually leverage your own dollars and incorporate this infinite banking. And then also, how does it actually correlate and work in concert with real estate? So Erica, at the same time, she's doing some real estate. She's doing her infinite banking strategy as well. So I approached her and said, hey, let's actually start Infinity Investment Strategies, which is our current firm now. And let's actually just dedicate our teaching towards the fundamentals of infinite banking, which we both have traditional knowledge of financial knowledge that we can implement, but how can we actually show real estate investors the value of this and just focus on that as a niche? So that's where we're at now. We actually, we're involved in real estate ourselves. We have new developments out in West Fort Worth. We are looking at partnering up with some key players in some major markets for multifamily. We have, I'm looking at some Airbnbs, right? So we're actively doing real estate as well as actively doing infinite banking. So we're able to show our clients how to emulate, what we're doing and what other successfully financially mature people are doing and how they're managing their cash flow.
Wow.
So Erica, I'll let you kind of chime in a little bit. And
yeah. So like you said, our firm is focused on, the entrepreneurs, specifically real estate. Obviously, a lot of people fall in that category. We work with business owners as well. But I think across the board, people have rightfully so become more and more, I don't know if you want to say enlightened, awakened, jaded, whatever you want to call it. Like David said, they are not getting all of the wonderful promises and how great everything is in the stock market. And our process, our planning platform is never to say there's such thing as a bad tool, right? There's no good tools, there's no bad tools. It's just using the right tool for the right job. But when we're trying to create cash flow and have a reliable income off of the stock market, right, at that point, we're trying to cut a piece of wood in half with a hammer. And so what we really focus on is just teaching people how to create cash flow, and then people who are already understanding, hey, here's real estate, here's how I create cash flow. Then we're saying, hey, let's scale, let's enhance this, let's do what you're doing, and then just help you improve it, right? We're going to create an actual plan. We're going to be more tax efficient. We're going to be more protected. We're going to have more leverage. We're going to take exactly what you're doing and just make it better and help you continue to grow and scale. You already know what you're doing. You're doing a great job. We just want to make it easier for you. Work smarter, not harder. So like you said, we launched Infinity Investment Strategies, and a lot of the feedback we've gotten, especially in the real estate world, is this is something that we need because, we need to do the planning, but I don't want to have to fight my Edward Jones guy of me putting my money in real estate versus a mutual fund. So hopefully we are able to, and we have so far, and I hope we are able to continue, providing a little bit of guidance, a little bit of a planning process, some confidence and clarity and comfort for entrepreneurs to actually have a plan and not have to, fight tooth and nail. I have a couple of visuals if that's something that you guys feel like would be helpful, just some high level stuff as far as what the infinite banking concept actually, how it actually works for people. And David mentioned this, right? Like my experience in the traditional financial planning world, pretty similar to David's. It's, when you work for corporation ABC, you're subject to the agenda of company ABC. And that's not a good or a bad thing, but it's not that every single person falls into the same box. So being on the independent platform gives us the ability to, number one, partner with multiple Fortune 500 companies, but number two, really look at the individual person and see, well, what is it that you're trying to do and what's the best tool for that job? When we're talking about the infinite banking concept, this is actually from Nelson Nash. He's the guy who coined this term. And when they're talking about the strategy, the economics, right? This isn't about a product. This is about a strategy and economic plan. This is focused on using a very specific type of cash value policy, and it has to be set up the right way, right? There's a lot of people we've met that have come into contact with or tried to do infinite banking and have had a bad experience. Well, again, if they don't use the right tool, or if it's not used correctly or set up correctly, it's not going to work right. So the universal life policies serve their purpose. It's not this. So just to give people a little bit of foundation as far as how the concept actually works.